Okay, so I want to start giving you some information about chocolate. So we have put this photo of the Amazon rainforest because this is now the so-called birthplace of chocolate. The latest researchers they are telling us that the basin of the Amazon River is the one that has the biggest amount of cocoa varieties. So it is somewhere in the middle of the jungle in Peru. Well, of course, we're very proud of it. That is why that is one of the reasons why we're bringing this chocolate, premium chocolate to Hong Kong now. So here, if we could have made a close-up to the forest in the Amazon rainforest, then we can find the Theobroma cacao. This is the official name of the cocoa tree. It's for the jungle. This is a very small tree. It only can reach up to 6 and 8 meters at height. But it is good because this is the environment that the cocoa needs. In fact, the cocoa always the high quality type of cocoa bean. It's always being grown under the shade of other trees. Yeah, but I can show you in the lower part. There is a photo of the sun farm in Ivory Coast, and this is the method of cocoa farming right now. This is the method that is more popular right now all over Africa and also in Indonesia. Well, this is a method that is not sustainable in reality because in order to do that, farmers are doing this because they want to have a bigger production, and to have a shorter season of harvesting. But there are offsides too. So the sad point about this is that because of this sun farming method, we're getting rid of a lot of areas that should be protected and should be kept to avoid the global warming and all these big things that are coming and sad things. Yeah. So anyway, I also put a photo about the Theobroma flower. It's an orchid. Maybe some of you have found that some chocolates have these graphic of flowers on top. It's because the cocoa tree also have a flower. And then on the back, there is a photo of the cocoa pod. This is where the cocoa beans are growth actually. So I can pass for you. You can pass it over, please. Inside you will find the cocoa beans and also some cocoa nibs. You can try them if you want. This is organic. You won't be harmed by them. The idea is for you to try and smell what is the real cocoa after fermentation and drying. And you can pick the first type of profile flavor that is coming out of a cocoa bean. That is the acidity and bitterness that is very interesting coming from the cocoa bean. So this is just small. I wanted you to know that the cocoa production is among all the south hemisphere of the world. It's actually the cocoa production is happening in Brazil, in South America, in Africa, and also in Asia. The main place for Asia is Indonesia. And then in Africa, we have the biggest production that is almost 75% right now. And then, well, America, although is the birthplace for cocoa, actually only produces almost 7% of the global production. But what is interesting about this is that the cocoa production is made in the south hemisphere, but the transformation of the chocolate mostly is coming from the north hemisphere. So we have America and also Europe as the biggest. We have over there the biggest companies that are making these confectionery kind of candies and flavor like chocolate that are not always chocolate. That's the point about it. So in the next slide, I'm showing you what is actually the industry of chocolate production is making up to 110 billion US dollar. And this 110 billion US dollar is going to only 7 players in the world. So you have these companies from, most of them are from USA, from America, and then the other ones are European, Switzerland, Italy, and Germany. These are the biggest confectionery of chocolate. All of these 7 players, they account for 80% of the big market, for the market share, and then the 20% is mostly going to to Europe too. Only 4% out of this 20% is made in South America. So there is only 4 big cooperatives that are working in South America and in Central America to produce chocolate, which is one company back in Peru, the name is Naranjillo. There is another cooperative in Central America, in Mexico, and another one in Dominican Republic. Yeah. So then all the others are going to be chocolate that is made in Europe, either in Europe or in America. So this is the process of chocolate making. I think, where is the cocoa and the nibs? Did you all taste the cocoa and the nibs?
Yeah,
it's here. I'm sorry. Yeah, so, yes, I was explaining you that this is the first step. This is what usually all the confectionery companies will take. The farmers will do the harvesting, and after that they will do a fermentation process that it is made also with the pulp of the cocoa, this white mucilage you can see over there. And actually this is a process, I will say the most important process for the final taste of the chocolate, because here you will define the profile of the final chocolate taste. Like Jean-Paul Caban and the chocolatiers, the French chocolatiers that has a lot of money to spend and to go back to the source and to look out for the best cocoa productions, the premium type of cocoa bean. They will go back to the farmer's place and they will pick their own cocoa beans before they go into the fermentation process, and they will be overlooking the fermentation process for around 2 to 3 days, just to make sure that they will get the taste they want. Then after that, it will go to a drying process for 1 to 2 days. And if it were a simple type of chocolate, then they are going to export it directly either to US or Europe. If not, the rest will remain at the place of origin, and then they will roast it. After roasting, you will have these ones, the other one that were next to it. These are the nibs that are coming from, usually the roasting process is around 120 to 150 degrees. But I don't know if you've heard about the raw chocolate. Raw chocolate is actually another type of process where they make it through, they will heat it up only up to 40 degrees, but they will have to do several times. So it's not only one time. So in the end, is when you come to raw chocolate, you cannot really say that it's a better quality of chocolate than a conventional one, because in the end you will have to heat it and overheat it several times. Yeah. So, and actually the roasting process is also important for the final flavor of the chocolate, because you will be able to lower the acidity, to pull off the acidity of the cacao bean, and at the same time, depending on the degree of roasting, you will enhance other types of flavors of the profile flavor of the cocoa bean. Yeah. So after this, the following steps are usually made by the big industry, that are the grinding of the cacao beans to have a final cocoa mass, and then they will split the cocoa solids from the cocoa butter. Some chocolates will have the butter will be taken off from the cocoa solid, but then they will put it back again at the following process, that is the conching. They do this to control how much of percentage of cocoa butter they will put into the final chocolate bar. And another reason to do this is because cocoa butter is very expensive. Only out of this cocoa bean, only 30% of it will be butter. The rest will be solids of cocoa or cocoa mass. And the thing is that because you can only get 30% of it out of 1 kg of cocoa beans, then it's better for the big companies to add any other kind of oil or any kind of butter. Yeah. So most of the chocolates that you will find that have trans fat is because they have added some animal fat or palm oil, something like that. Okay, so that is very important when you want to choose also a chocolate. Because for a real chocolate, you only need 3 things. You need the cacao mass, the sugar, and the cacao butter. You can take out the sugar and you can use any other kind of sweetener, but that's all you need because cocoa in itself doesn't need any other kind of flavoring. If it's a good type of cocoa bean, then it's not a need. It's not a must. Then, well, after this grinding process, they will go into a conching process. Conching process is also, it was created by the founder of Lindt, actually. He created this kind of process where you have to melt different kinds of coverture coatings, and at the same time, it's a special machine where you have like something like a stone, and it will give different winnowing to the winnowing process, where you will have a different, in the end you will get a different texture, more creamy texture for the chocolate. So this is how the Lindt chocolate became very popular, even though Lindt was, I think it was the 3rd chocolate maker after Nestle and Hershey. So after this, you only have the final process that it is tempering, and in the tempering process, what you made is the aim is to have a very shiny chocolate. So you cannot take it in 1 hour from 150 degrees down to 20 degrees. So usually takes a time up to 8 hours to get the temperature to the right point of 20 degrees. That should be. Okay, so this is it. This is how we make chocolate. So I don't know if you have any question about this before we go into the tasting. So maybe you can help me out.
Yeah, we have an expert here. Ask as many questions.
So you can help me out giving them this chocolate. I'm gonna give you one type of chocolate that is conventional chocolate. Yes. No milk. No. A dark chocolate. This one is 60% dark chocolate. I want you to try it, and please, if possible, you all receive a small paper with a.
Doesn't.
Yes. Okay.
And pen.
Does anybody needs one? Everybody has?
The paper. Yeah, the pencil, and you want to do pencil.
Okay. So if you open it, you will find this chart, a chocolate flavor profile chart. You have on one corner the fruity, then behind it is molasses, spicy, and earthy. The idea is that you first read all of the description that is here. For example, for fruity, you have currant, tropical, cherry, citrus, raspberry, blackberry. For the first chocolate I'm giving you right now, it's a very simple type of chocolate. We name it chocolate because it's a plain type of cocoa bean. This type of cocoa bean is mainly grown in Africa. And well, if you find any other flavor while tasting, you can write it down at sample 1. The idea is that you can taste it at least 3 times. Actually, have you given them 3? Have you given them 3?
3? No.
Yeah. You have to give it.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. The first time you try it, it will be, yes, because it's a very tiny piece. But the idea is that after 3 times you taste it, you will find the complete. the complete flavor of the chocolate.
Yes, we have to try 3 times.
Yes.
Which terms do we use? Right here.
Oh yes, you can write here, sample 1.
What do you write? You use terms.
Yes, use these terms here to describe, or whatever it comes to your mind. This is only something to help you to express yourself.
Actually, this chocolate is yours? It's not yours?
You haven't got any.
Okay. Yes, okay, you're trying to focus on the flavor, write whatever you feel like. Maybe it can recall you also a memory from the past. Chocolate is also good for that. Sí, lo que siento.
I don't worry about this. How do you have to try, Lucia? You tell them. Lucia, how do they have to try? How do you taste the chocolate? You smell it, or you put in your mouth, you eat as quick as you can, or you swallow it? You tell them? The workshop is how to try chocolate.
Okay. Because I just want you to take the last one. Do you have also the other 2 flavors?
Which way?
The other one. That is
Oh, think about it. Okay, with the bread.
So we're gonna pass some bread to clean the palate. Yeah. Before we pass to the other type of cocoa bean. The one I just gave you is a conventional type of cocoa of chocolate. Yeah, it's a conventional type of chocolate. It doesn't have any special flavor. Actually, this one had some vanilla added. So the idea is you will have the bread to have to clean the palate before you take the other type of cocoa.
Just to clean the flavor.
So now I'm going to start to pass you the other kind of samples. This is sample 1 and sample 2. Sample 1 and sample 2. Sample 1 and Sí, este es de Perú. Los estamos vendiendo nosotros hoy día y también los vamos a vender en...
Lucia, después explicas todo. When it's running out, Lucia, you got to be explain to people.
Es preciosa esa noche, preciosa. Sí.
So can you help me out to tell them that this is sample 1 and this is sample 2, okay?
Okay, so you just move here.
Alright, just there. Explain them how to try chocolate. How do you eat chocolate? When you read Maya, how to do a chocolate tasting?
Yeah, but I just don't want to make it too difficult.
You have to smell it, it's not
No,
important.
because it's not easy to smell. It has already been part of the tank, so there doesn't
The
have
bag is quite in the bag. It smells the bag. Try one.
but it doesn't have a sweet smell. That is why. See how it smells? It doesn't smell. It smells when you have the.
Where is the bag? Where one?
No, so right now I'm giving you two other samples. These ones are two types of premium beans. So we're gonna go first with the one that has some white beans on top, like rice. If you want to go with me, so we want to start with the one that has some quinoa on top. Yeah.
Is that sample what? 1, 2, 3?
Oh, you. The
Oh,
idea
yeah,
is that is yeah. Sample 2 is the one that has the quinoa on top, and sample 3 is the other one.
Say flake. So I'm
Yes.
not sure people know what quinoa means. Flake.
Well, the kind of flakes crops is on top. Yeah. So how is it? You're gonna start to try it. You have three samples inside.
Should they be eat separate between the two samples or not?
Oh yes, that's a good point. It will be better if you take some credit to the one in the sample 2 and sample 3. Yes,
This is the right.
sample 2.
Okay, sample 2.
So in case you need some yes. Yeah.
Then we join us if we want to. Because
Okay. Okay.
How do you eat chocolates? Should they let him melting in their mouth?
Oh, este primero sample 2, sample 3. Do you need some bread? Do you need some bread? Some bread? You're okay? Okay. So did you try it? Yeah, okay. How is it? Very different. Very different. Yeah. Or acid like yeah, this is a personal value stronger than the one before. Yeah.
one more. Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea of having 3 different small channels is to discover the whole profile of the chocolate. So actually, each time you try, you will find maybe a different flavor. The first one is usually the molecular type of flavors that are usually fruity side, and then in the end you will have more kind of frosty, nutty, coffee-like flavors. And then you can feel the dryness of the cookies. So take your time and go through all the samples that you got.
Problemas con mi
No, I-
en mi casa.
You look well.
What was it?
There's a lot to change.
Huh?
There is a lot to change.
Yeah.
Anyway, finish this one, do your best. Next one will be the same and then we will improve. This one is you expected anybody to read it?
It was supposed to be here.
Do you think you should mix chocolate with a bar milk chocolate so it is much better than just putting milk?
No, it was about. I was supposed to tell people.
It's not at all
this,
visual.
but I think it's that. No, this one is not visual at all.
Yeah, but even this one. Do you know anybody understand anything about this? You explain it, but I think that's the first step and the second one. Then I think they are lost in this figure. One photo, one photo, one item.
So we ask them to try this. So they can go ahead to try this.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
Anyway, we tend to do it. Okay, sorry, my time is running out, so we have to keep going while you finish your trial. Lucia, explain what they eat. There is 70% chocolate, it was from Peru, etc.
I registered for chocolate workshop.
Yes, we are.
I can speak Spanish.
The next one will just in English. Just to finish this one, it's about to end. Then 15 minutes and we start the next one. So you can have a seat, have a drink, and then they are finishing the one now. So you just arrived?
Sorry?
You just came?
One only.
Yeah, you just arrived now.
Yeah, just
okay, just have a seat and we reproduce the same one in English in 15 minutes. People are waiting for next workshop.